In 1980, Western Research Industries was phased out and replaced by Lectra Motors. More experienced business people were hired onto the team, and new headquarters were established in Las Vegas, Nevada. The company introduced a flurry of new models, and seemed to be doing very, very well.
Most of these cars that we sold were to municipalities or companies like the telephone company here and the power company and the counties and stuff like that. Places that were sort of subsidized by the Department of Energy to buy them, to evaluate them and determine whether or not the electric car was a viable means of transportation for the world to enjoy. We even sold one car to Toyota and shipped it to Japan.
By 1981, Lectra Motors was producing a steady stream of about 30 cars per month. But not all was well within the ranks of the company. One of the company's major stockholders, with secret ties to big-name auto manufacturers General Motors and Chrysler, was secretly working to undermine the company from within. After acquiring and controlling 51% of the company's stock, he proceeded to hamper the company's development at every turn. He thwarted several proposed mergers with other EV companies and dismissed the firm's plans to expand into other countries. Then in 1982, just as Lectra Motors was ready to double production to 60 cars per month, he used his power as majority company stockholder to call an emergency meeting at which he proceeded to lay off the entire staff and close down all company operations. On July 10th, 1982, Lectra Motors ceased to exist. Though Lectra is gone, several of its automobiles still ply the roadways today.
There's a pickup truck in Pahrump Valley. There's a Centauri in Boulder City. There's a pickup truck in
Desert Palms?
Palm Desert, I think.
Desert.
Yeah. To California, and I don't know, they're scattered around quite a bit around the area.
Called from Massachusetts that has one.
That's right.
That he's putting it in a museum in Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's right.
The spirit of innovation that Lectra introduced into the EV community by employing several firsts such as hot water heaters, defrosters, and air conditioning in electric vehicles continues to this day.
I bought my car about 1982, I think. We found it in Arizona and brought it back, and Al wanted to teach me about electric cars. So we started doing projects with the cars. He has since designed a battery monitor system, and that's so you have a display on the dashboard that if any of the batteries goes down below 5.5 volts, then a light will come on. And that way you know what battery is bad. And in case it goes really bad, then your car's going to slow down tremendously. Any one battery will make it go way down. So you can just bypass that battery, pull off the side of the road, get your wrench out, and bypass that battery, and go on your way. But prior to this monitor, we knew there was one bad battery, but there's 18 of them to check. And we could never find out which battery it was. So he designed that so that we would know what's going on every time you drive it. You can't drive without it anymore. You have to have it. Once you get it in there, you have to have it.
Okay, here. This is the original battery monitor that we first came up with. It uses a voltage comparator to drive the readout. Here's what the readout looks like. It's made into with LEDs laid out in the configuration of the batteries. This is the front. These 8 are the front batteries, and these lights represent the batteries in the rear compartment. And this, of course, plugs in to this plug, and then there's another cable that plugs into here that goes back and connects to each and every battery that we want to monitor. Well, this worked out pretty well, but it was kind of unwieldy, so we decided we discovered some better electronics that we could use for that, so we built another different kind of a little PC board that was much more compact, and there's a little voltage detector here that drives a transistor, which in turn drives the LED readout. And so we built the monitors on a little board like this, which was mounted in a nice little case like this, and there was the finished product, much more sophisticated and dust-proof and nice and clean, and
fit under the dash easier than
fit underneath the dashboard much more nicely.
So while Lectra may be gone, the man and the dream still live on.
It's gonna be a fun winter now that I've got my wool socks on. It's gonna be so exciting when it gets cold outside. Your nose looks so damn cold, but my nose is so much colder. If you can't see my breath, why don't you stand just a little bit closer? It's gonna be a fun winter now that you've got my wool socks on. It's gonna be so exciting when it gets cold outside.